Well, our first of the painting tutorials is going to be to paint a Siamese. For me, they're slightly easier to paint. I have covered my cat in an entire wash of a cream white off-white color paint. I use heritage paints, Americana. It just depends what I can get. At the moment I'm using Americana, and the colors I use for my Siamese is a shade of brown, a slightly darker shade of brown, and the cream. Now in your second package, some of you in your first package did get your paintbrush. The ladies that asked for their cats unpainted, your paintbrush came with your cat. The ladies that did ask for these first ones painted, your paintbrush will come with your second kit. She's had her first coat of paint. I've just to give you an idea what she'll look like in cream. And that's when we start putting our different layers on. And eventually, we're going to end up like that. Don't look at her ear, it's broken off. It's actually supposed to be like that. She's going to wear a hat. I like to work out of my... Starting in my nose, I'm just going to give her some shading in brown. Just really dragging my paint more than anything else. Not too much paint. The paint too thick will in fact end up with too much color, and we don't want too much color on her. Remember, a Siamese's nose is brown, not her whole face. Generally, of course. Okay, we're going to paint her ears a nice chocolate brown color. Right, now we'll start sort of working in our colours a bit here. We use a 000 paintbrush. Just work your paint gentle. You don't want heavy colour. When you find you've got a little bit too much colour, put a bit of cream on your brush. Don't wash your brush first, because now you're going to get this beautiful coffee colour start coming through. And we're going to build up our colour exactly like this. That's how we're going to create some colour on our Siamese. Now, you'll see where her mouth line is. Don't put colour there. She needs to have a cream mouth. Otherwise, you're going to just find you have this blob of brown face. It doesn't really look as good. Right, there we go. We've got some colour on her. And already she's starting to take a little bit of shape. Okay, now we need to add a bit of colour into her ears. Now you'll notice I don't work with water. I just keep adding colour. And I really just build my cat up. Need some more brown, because we really need more brown in her ears. Her ears have got to be fairly dark, so I blend some brown in. And I keep going. And every one of my cats comes out a little bit different to the one we started before. If you get to the stage where you think you've got too much paint, put it under a tap, wash it off and do it again. Right, and once we've got her to a point where we think she's not too bad, just fill in a little bit of cream for her, and we're going to leave her to dry a bit. Now you can keep adding in layers until you're really happy with your colouring. Now you can see I've actually added in some other colours as well in this particular Siamese. It just depends as we're going. Now I do need a slight touch of a pinky colour for her ears, inside of her ears, although I don't make too much of an accent on that pink. Let's put a dot of, pale dot of pink in there. And I sort of blend it almost in with her. Mix it in, just got a little touch of pink. Now we need to leave her to dry for a bit. You really just keep playing with your colour. You can keep adding in, changing the colour of your cat every time we dip it into a paintbrush. And every little bit of it, she will eventually just come to life. It's the most amazing thing. Just keep playing with her. And I mean, look how different she looks already, just from those couple of changes that we've just done. Add a bit more cream in and we're going to get her looking different again. Oh, that's going to look rather nice. Look at that. Just give her a bit more brown. Now I think we can let her dry from there. Now, most Siamese cats, I think all Siamese cats have blue eyes, so I'm going to do blue eyes for her. And then I use a very white paint just to paint the iris of her eyes. A little bit of her whites. Okay. Not too much paint on your brush. Once we've got our blue in, need to let her dry, because we'll have the colour start bleeding. When I get to this point, I need my brush to be very, very, very thin. Once I painted my cat, I say, okay, great guys, I cut my brush in half. And I nip off all that extra bristles. And I leave myself just with literally a few, very few, and then I find it doesn't matter how heavy my hand might be, because my brush is so nice and thin, it doesn't really matter. Painting her nose, her mouth underneath. Remember, cats don't have round irises. She has a straight iris. And already there, she's coming to life. Now you can add in very thin whiskers if you want to, small detailing. And there we go. Once we've painted her and we're really happy with the way she's been painted, we've got all our detailing the way we want it, we leave our paint for a couple of hours to settle, and then we use a fixative spray, a matte acrylic fixative spray, which you can get from any artist store, and we give her a good spray. Good clear fixative spray, and you will set her perfectly.